What's up, everybody? It's time to dive back into some Halo Machinima. I have 4 series and 3 shorts for you guys today. It took me a while to write for this video, because outside of personal matters, this is the first time I'm looking at nothing but series as far as main videos are concerned. And these series get a bit deep, so these reviews are going to be a lot longer than my usual ones. I felt like I couldn't summarize most of these without leaving something important out. I'm also adding some shorts in here to give you guys something different, so sit back, maybe grab a drink, we have some series and shorts to cover. But before we get into the video, if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, that would help out tremendously. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Lifebringer was recommended to me by Spartan142 Productions. It is a 5-part series created by Chronicler177. It's also part of an overarching series known as the Spartan Legacy. The Spartan Legacy is set in an alternate post-Halo 3 universe, and it follows a new generation of Spartans. Wifebringer takes place after the Second Reach War. Reach just can't catch a break, can it? It follows Spartan B-257 Zach and the AI Humble Guardian as they discover a mysterious planet and a deadly new threat to the UNSC. The crew of the UNSC Homeward Bound has just finished their mission of fighting off the rest of the Sankili loyalists in their sector, and are ready to head back home. But Guardian notices an uncharted world, so he asks Captain Riopel to make a detour to check it out. There could be loyalists hiding out on the planet, and that prompts them to wake up Zach, who's been sleeping for who knows how long. As they're approaching the planet, they're attacked by a group known as the Radical Reformation, a faction who believe that using alien technology will allow them to one day overthrow the UNSC. In this part of the story, they're mainly seen as alien technology worshippers, but that's their endgame. The ship already has some wear and tear on it, but now it's been heavily damaged by Reformist missiles and a planetary defense cannon, so now they have to escape to the planet. This planet is known as Cradle, and it's a Forerunner planet. The defense cannons on this planet suggest that something here is being protected or hidden away. Zach and Guardian discover a Reformist base. They have been studying Forerunner teleporters, have been developing some of their own.
The Radical Reformation is the future of humanity!
Yeah, we'll see about that. You guys killed my friend Riopel. Consider this payback.
They clear out the base and hijack a Banshee to meet up with the remaining Marines. However, things are about to hit the fan in a major way. Zach meets up with Sergeant Denver and the rest of the Marines, and they manage to defeat the Reformists and take their base. Unfortunately, what they don't see is a mysterious sniper looming behind them. He's using a binary rifle and he disintegrates some of the Marines. They retreat back into the base, and they need a plan to escape. They need to get to the transporter near the crashed Pelican, but as the Marines are making their way there, most of them are killed by another enemy with an incineration cannon. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but a lot of Marines have been dying. Denver and Zach split up for now, with Zach drawing the blue enemies away from Denver. Zach activates the teleporter and manages to go through it. These enemies are known as Hyborians, artificial warriors that were created to help stop the flood. The Reformists accidentally woke them up, and now they have their hands full as they're attacking their base. This is just like 2 portrayals, where every faction is fighting each other. Zach has to fight through both factions as he and Guardian need to get back to the Homeward Bound to try and signal for help, and they need to meet up with Sergeant Denver. They manage to make it to the Homeward Bound, and they try sending a SOS so they can get off the planet. But Guardian is starting to act very strangely, as if something is trying to gain control of him. It's subtle, but it's obvious he's being manipulated by somebody.
What you mean? I have retrieved the coordinates. We must go now.
Something has been bothering him for a while now. Zach is wary of his behavior, but he has Zach to trust him. He gives him some coordinates and they go there, but this was a bad idea. Someone is locked away on this planet. The Reformists are trying to break into their chambers, and Guardian is acting more erratic as they get closer to them. They manage to get through the Reformists and they manage to get into the structure. But yeah, at this point Guardian is no longer himself.
I must obey. Insert me into the structure's network.
You sure this will help you?
I am certain.
They access the network, but after that, Guardian goes radio silent, and the mystery of this planet appears before Zach. This woman is the Lifebringer, or Forerunner, who is the creator of the Hyborians. Okay, so the reason the Lifebringer was locked up is because she was turning her fellow Forerunners into Hyborians using something called a composer. The composer turns organic minds into computer data, so basically, it turns organics into AIs. This is the way that Didac turned humans into Prometheans to fight the Flood. The Forerunners, of course, didn't like this, so they imprisoned Lifebringer and the Hyborians on Cradle, and took steps to keep her there, such as the defense cannons. When the Forerunners activated the Halo Ring, she was able to survive because she turned herself into a Hyborian. So now that Lifebringer has been freed, she wants to rule over all creation, just like her people did in the past. Of course, Zach isn't about to let that happen, but there's a problem. Well, remember Guardian? You see, by being so close to a forerunner like Lifebringer, she was able to reset him to his original programming, so now he's hostile, and on top of that, she gave him a body as well. Zack tries to get through to him, but it doesn't work and he gets shot into the ravine below. Or did it? Zack survives the fall because Guardian is still fighting against Lifebringer. He shot Zack, but made sure that he didn't kill him, and then he transported him to Denver's destination. He fills Denver in on the situation, and they decide that the best place to go would be the Reformers' main headquarters. If Guardian protected Zack, then maybe he's still in there. There's a teleporter there that will take them to the Guardian base. They manage to reach it, and it's two betrayals all over again. They arrive to see the Hyborians pushing back the Reformers from their base. They manage to make it to Guardian's location, and Zack goes in to try to talk to Guardian. He manages to bring Guardian back to his old self. It was a struggle for him, but it worked. Welcome back, buddy. It's nice that the gang's back together, but they still have Lifebringer to deal with. You see, the Reformers were working on a super teleporter. They managed to finish it, and now Lifebringer wants to use it to transport her and her Hyborians to Earth. With it, they could bypass all of Earth's defenses and raise hell immediately. The teleporter is under the Reformers research lab, so it's a race against time to get there. They get a teleporter that could take them there, but Lifebringer had a trick up her sleeve. She scrambled the teleporter's frequency, so it can send you basically anywhere, which is what happened to Zack. So now he's been cut off from Denver and Guardian. Zack fights through the base he's been sent to and manages to find a Banshee. He meets up with Denver and Guardian, who did manage to make it to the research lab, but they've walked into another trap. The Lifebringer left some soldiers behind to box them in, and now they have to split up again. Zack will handle Lifebringer while the other two hold off the Hyborians. This leads up to the climactic final battle. Zack's main objective is to disable the teleporter, but the Hyborians aren't going to make it easy for him, but he's a Spartan, he's running through them anyway. But Lifebringer manages to get the drop on him. She bodies him, and just as she's preparing to kill him, Guardian comes out of nowhere and jumps in front of the shot, destroying his body. Denver comes in a bit later, and that makes Lifebringer retreat for the time being. They reach the super teleporter and Lifebringer is waiting for him. She manages to pin them down, but look who shows up. Guardian used his body to save Zack while also uploading himself into the teleporter system. Guardian manages to use the teleporter to create a void that could trap Lifebringer for all eternity. Zack comes from behind and pushes her in the teleporter, and that's that. Now it's time to get off this rock. It'll take them years to get home, but that's what sleep pods are for. Y'all, I enjoyed this one a lot. I love how menacing the Hyborians were made out to be, and I loved the subtle build up to the Lifebringer's debut. I wasn't expecting almost all the Marines to die, but at the same time, it made these guys out to be a legitimate threat. I enjoyed the Reformers too, even though most of what happened here was their fault. But anyway, something else I really liked is the first person shots before the next battle. It reminds me how new parts of missions were revealed in the Halo campaigns. That's a nice touch. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. This isn't the end of the Reformist. This was just one cell, so we'll be seeing them again in Lifebringer. Guys, shit is going to get crazy. Check out the next story, Brotherhood War, to find out why. The funny thing is that I watched Brotherhood War before Lifebringer, so I was missing some important context. So thanks Spartan for recommending this series to me. But yeah, I would recommend this series along with others in the Spartan legacy.
I just hope the Lifebringer stays buried.
Me too, man. Me too. For now, though, enjoy the peace. It's just us and the stars.
Spy 1 is a series that I like a lot, but I had never actually finished it until I started working on this video. It was created by Nightmare Films in 2014 and it centers around Jake Peterson. He is the #1 spy for an organization he works for, and the story is about him finding the ones who killed his girlfriend Karina and uncovering the mystery behind the man in the shadow. He works for this guy named Frank and they have a good friendship. Frank is usually sending Jake out to get coffee for him. He's gotta have his Starbucks in the morning if you know what I mean. When Jake is on missions, he tends to joke around and prefers to improvise, which can lead to some carelessness, but he usually wins out in the end. However, he does have a more intense side to him when things get emotional, like when he finally gets to confront one of the people that killed Karina. Someone else kills him right in front of him, and he absolutely loses it. I can't blame him though, he's been looking for them for 7 years.
After all this time, I didn't even get to kill him? I'm gonna make sure he's dead!
As a spy, Jake has some pretty cool gadgets. For example, in episode 1, he has a gadget that allows him to control electronics. He uses it to close an elevator door, and he disables someone's jetpack in midair. As a spy, Jake has some pretty cool gadgets. For example, in episode 1, he has a gadget that allows him to control electronics. He uses it to close an elevator door, and he disables someone's jetpack in midair.
Don't worry, I got him.
He also has an AI named Iris who helps him out on missions. She can tell him where a certain object is located. It's fun watching him fight. He makes people look completely incompetent. The following episodes see him trying to figure out who killed Karina and learning more about the Man of Shadow themselves and who they could be. The Man of Shadow is incredibly ruthless. Just speaking his name was enough to cause a massacre, and if he wants you dead, oh, you will be. Oh, and don't try to kill Spy 1. That will make more sense by the last episode. I don't want to spoil the reveal for y'all. Spy 1 was a fun series to watch. This series is, what if James Bond was a Spartan? And I loved that about it. I was rooting for Jake. I was hoping he would get some closure over Karina, and I was invested into finding out who the Man of Shadow was. You're not sure whether it's Frank or if it could be someone else. But what you do know is that they're close to Jake. You just don't know who, and when I found out who, I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. But it made a lot of sense. I didn't say much about the other spies because the story is mainly about Jake, but I like Spy 2 Brent and Spy 3 Katie. Brent is the weapons expert. He's going to fuck up with Jake bad, but he makes up for it. And Katie, she's down for whatever. If you need a ride to and from a mission, that's who you call. This review was a bit shorter than the other ones because I felt that this series was a bit easier to summarize, but I also wanted to keep that air of suspense that the show is going for. When I was watching this, I was asking myself a lot of who, what, and why. Who is the Man of Shadow? What is the Man of Shadow's goal? Why did Raven freak out when Jake mentioned Frank? I felt that the reveal was worth the suspense. I would highly recommend this series.
Man of Shadow.
Playtime was created by Cruel Legacy in 2010 and it centers around two soldiers, Warren and Cobra. I remember watching this one a few years ago, but I haven't really come back to it. The series starts off with Cobra coming to visit his friend Warren for a bit of training. Season 1 episodes are based around Cobra's training. Cobra is a good sniper, but that's about it, so the goal is to round him out a bit more. But it doesn't go so well, because he gets messed up at some point with each exercise. Combat droid gets assassinated. Driving course gets blown to hell repeatedly. Armor abilities, more of the same. Episode 3 is a bit different. He's Warren's test subject in that one. It ends up with him getting shot out of a Griff cannon. Sarge would be so proud.
Here goes nothing.
Season 2 gets a bit more serious as an alien faction lands on a Halo ring, and they're building something called the Ascended Tower, which is supposed to wipe all life from the ring so they can claim it for themselves. Warren and Cobra decide to stake out the invaders to keep an eye on them, with Cobra on first watch. Of course, Cobra falls asleep, but this turns out to be a blessing, as his dream had him walk through the tower where he sees the invader commander and this other soldier who tells Cobra that unless they destroy the tower, it's over for everybody. The thing to notice about this scene is how Cobra is familiar with this woman. That's going to come into play later. The guys do manage to destroy the tower, but Cobra was shot down during the battle and is presumed to be dead, ending the season on a down note. Season 3 is where a lot of backstory happens. It starts off with Warren searching through the ruins of the Ascended Tower. He's looking for clues as to where the invaders went off to. He built an AI named Bob to help him scan the wreckage, and to keep him company since, well, Cobra is gone. They find a clue as to where the invaders are hiding out through some dirt that's not common in the region, and not too long after that, a mysterious person shows up. Remember that woman that showed up in Cobra's dream earlier? She shows up for real this time. Her name is Red, and she wants to come along with Warren because he's going to need all the help he can get. It turns out that not only is she Cobra's girlfriend, but Cobra is actually alive and is being held at the invaders' base. They get some help from this dirt salesman named Dwight. The invaders made a deal with Dwight to trade 2 of their banshees in exchange for dirt. Apparently, elites eat dirt. That's interesting. Dwight was able to give them a location as he recognized the dirt that the invaders trapped into his shop. And he gave them his banshees in exchange for their pelicans so that way they can reach the base undetected. Red also calls in some backup. This group is known as the Rangers. This leads us into episodes 5 and 6 where some backstory is given. So, Warren, Cobra, and Red belong to this group called the Rangers. Warren doesn't know Red because she came after he already left. Warren was the group's mechanic. He had left a few weeks prior to Red's arrival because of an accident with one of his inventions. He was testing out a prototype man cannon that was supposed to launch troops across the battlefield. A team member, Andrew, volunteered to help him test it. However, things went horribly wrong. The cannon misfired, which caused an explosion. A piece of debris came off the machine and, to put it bluntly, it blew Andrew's dick off. Warren felt so bad about the accident that he up and left. And of course Andrew wasn't taking it well, poor guy, but unfortunately, with Warren gone, Cobra became the target of Andrew's aggression, and they would get into it, which would cause the team leader Luke to break them up. Red and Cobra get introduced, and it was love at first sight between them, but it's not over between Cobra and Andrew. Andrew attempts to run Cobra over, but Red warns Cobra in time for him to avoid Andrew's warthog, and he eats shit off the cliff. Andrew, I guess, leaves the Rangers after that, or was thought to have died in the crash. Later on, Cobra and Red find Warren, and rather than ask him to come back, Cobra decides to stay with him, as Warren could really use a friend to help him deal with what happened, which leads to the first episode. This was a nice piece of backstory. It tied up some loose ends as to how Warren and Cobra ended up in that cannon to begin with, and how Red and the other Rangers are tied into the story. But back to the present, Warren and Red manage to make it to the invader base where they meet up with Luke and the other Rangers. The goal is to rescue Cobra and to defeat the invaders before they can regroup and start their invasion. They managed to rescue Cobra and another elite, Wilbur. Wilbur was basically made the fall guy for the invaders failing the first time. He seemed to get along with Cobra while they were locked up, so he saved as well. All that's left is to deal with the commander, but the problem is getting to his throne room. The only feasible way is to reach him from the throne room balcony. Cobra comes up with the plan of having Warren create another man cannon using the explosives the Rangers brought with them, while Wilbur distracts the commander. Of course, this plan fails horribly as Cobra overshoots the balcony, but that provided a distraction for Wilbur to kill the commander. Good job, buddy! After the commander is defeated, Wilbur becomes the new leader of the elites, so Luke, Red, and the Rangers are going to stay back to make sure everything goes smoothly. Warren and Cobra return to the canyon, where they have found that the Reds and Blues have moved in, but they don't have the energy to deal with them right now. When the two of them are alone, Cobra thanks Warren for rescuing them and begins to tell him how he's his best friend, but then Warren says this.
I'm in love with your girlfriend.
What?
Yeah, I had left something out from season 3, and I did that because it's the main premise of season 4. I couldn't stand Warren in this season, but let me explain what's going on. You see, when Warren first meets Red and realizes that she's a girl, he is instantly attracted to her, and those feelings kept growing over the season. And they kept growing in season 4 to an unhealthy level, to the point that he started to become obsessed with her. Before the craziness starts, he tells Cobra to his face that he's gonna tell Red that he's in love with her. Of course, Cobra is pissed about this because, well, that's his girlfriend. And it's one thing to have feelings for the woman, but Warren clearly has the intent of trying to steal her from him. But seeing that they're at an impasse, they agree to a contest to decide who's more worthy of Red's love. Oh geez. Also, Andrew is back. I know he's been waiting for this moment. A new girl shows up named Jennifer who obviously has an interest in Warren, but he's too busy pining over Red to notice anything else. This is going to come back to bite him later, but anyway, they start their competition where they go through different challenges, such as a Delph race, target practice, griff ball. There was also a mantis battle. Cobra teabags the shit out of Warren, by the way. He put some stank on that.
Can't watch this. This is just too much. We gotta take a break. Cut to commercial. Somebody stop him. Cut to commercial.
The final challenge has them jumping over a gap with a mongoose. Cobra completes his jump, but he has Red waiting for him, who finds out about their contest and isn't too happy about it. Cobra realizes how stupid all of this was, and he has something to ask Red. We'll get back to them in a minute. Warren is attempting his jump, but he goes off course and crashes into Dwight's new dirt shop. Remember him? He's friends with the gang at this point, and he's moved closer to the canyon. Andrew was also there trying to shoot down Warren, but he gets caught in the crash. Dwight is very upset, although I'm sure his neighbor he boxed in is happy, and Jennifer chews out Warren over how crazy he's been acting. Warren finally makes the decision to tell Red how he feels, while Jennifer consoles Dwight and they hit it off. You missed your chance, Warren. However, upon seeing Cobra propose to Red, Warren couldn't bring himself to do it. I think reality finally set in for him. Later on, he apologizes to Cobra and Dwight and they forgive him as everything is looking up for everybody. Cobra's getting married, Dwight and Jennifer are dating, Andrew is in jail, and Wilbur has taken a liking to him. Warren then ends the series with one final line.
Oh, come on!
I'll be honest y'all, I didn't expect this review to be this long, but Machinima usually doesn't go for seasons while being this story driven, so Playtime touches some rare air in that regard. I felt like I had to discuss everything to paint the full picture of this series. This show is mainly a comedy, with some serious moments thrown in. Any scene with cannons involved was hilarious, and I loved the characters, except Warren in Season 4. He was unlikable for most of that season. When Cobra got shot down at the end of Season 2, I went to Season 3 immediately. I had to know what happened next. There are 4 seasons and a total of 26 episodes. I highly recommend this one.
You want that DMR. You can't fight without it.
I know.
You need that DMR.
Yeah.
Say you need it.
I need it.
Now go get that DMR!
What if I duct tape rockets to it?
No.
Then what if I were to somehow make it fly?
No.
Okay then. What if
Riley, there is no way you can beat a tank using Among Us. You probably don't even know how to drive one anyway.
Of course I do.
Without crashing it?
Well, crashing is a type of driving, isn't it?
The Misfits was created by the great Isaiah in 2015, and it centers around Red Team, or the Misfits. They're called that because they're the worst team in the UNSC. The team consists of Alex, Riley, and Zach. Riley is the team sniper. He's super annoying, as well as being trash at sniping. He needed help to zoom in with the thing. Zach is the team's hacker, and he's trash at that. It takes him forever to hack into things. Alex is the team leader, and she's actually pretty good. Any of the other teams will welcome her, but these guys are her friends. She's not going to leave them like that. Their job was to hack into a Forerunner artifact located at a rebel base, and all the other teams are in position, but they can't reach Riley. Why? Well, Riley tends to shut off his radio because the other squads make fun of him. Not to mention the fact that since he's not looking out for the rebels, he almost gets everyone caught. Alex had to handle that. However, since the other squads couldn't reach Riley and Zach is taking forever hacking into the artifact, the blue team's leader Marco improvises and manages to kill most of the rebels, but 2 escaped, and to top it off, the red team almost killed Marco, which got them kicked off the mission altogether. These guys want to be respected more than anything, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to do so. They devise a plan to take the blue team's next mission for themselves. The person who was supposed to pick them up just happened to be colorblind, so that made things easy. They also managed to take the guy's Hornet by telling him he should stay with the Reds. The mission is to infiltrate an abandoned UNSC base. The rebels have set up base there, and the goal is to steal information from them. What could go wrong, right? Well, everything did go wrong. As Zach tries to get information on the rebels, the opposite happens. There is an AI in the mainframe, and it's downloading UNSC information from the drive Zach plugged into the system. And of course, this would have alerted the rebels, so now they have to escape. The best part of the mission is that Riley actually put in some work with the sniper. It took him a few tries, but he did it.
Awesome. Yep, and as long as we don't get attacked, nothing can go.
Looks like we jinxed it.
Guys, I got him! I did it! I hit them both in the head! Oh my god!
And he picked up something that could help him later. But overall, they're screwed. Not only did they go AWOL for this mission, Zach gave the rebels UNSC information because he thought it was a good idea to have confidential files on a flash drive to help him practice his hacking skills. Even Riley calls him out on this. Now, they have a choice to make. They can either decide to go back and face the music, or simply go off the grid. They decide to go off the grid, they're done if they go back. Alex is most likely getting demoted, and without her, there's no one to protect Riley and Zach from the other teams. Everyone hates them, so they're screwed either way. Alex already had a plan in mind. She knew if they failed, they would have to hide anyway, so she already had a spot picked out for them. Basically, it's Blood Gulch, but we'll get back to that in a minute. It didn't take too long for the blue team to find out about what happened regarding their next mission. They confront the pilot about what happened, and then Marco just executes the guy. Like, damn, that was really unnecessary. The man was colorblind, how was he to know? Meanwhile at Blood Gulch, the red team meets the members of the Canyon's blue team, and this conversation went as well as you think it would. This series was originally based off red versus blue, so think about the red and blue dynamic here. A lot of back and forth until a scary leader threatens the other team for the information that they need. Back at the rebel base, the rebel soldiers are getting their leader up to speed, and the one who was in charge of the artifact site was executed. Shotgun to the face, closed casket. That was so cold. Back at Blood Gulch, the Reds are checking out the old red base and making sure Riley isn't doing anything he's not supposed to. He is not allowed to touch any of the vehicles for a good reason, so when Alex finds him near the Hornet, she's obviously worried. He isn't messing with the vehicles yet, but he did pick up an alien sniper from the rebel base. Alex, of course, confiscates it. I don't blame her. Would you really trust Riley with it? He gets bored, so he goes over to the blue base, and they find some common ground when it comes to armor color. Riley eventually does get to the vehicles. He scrapped the Warthog and made 2 gun geese out of it. Zack is in the base messing with his hacking simulators, which are really just against Bioshock, Fallout 3, and Watch Dogs. Meanwhile, Alex has gone off to see if the UNSC is close to finding him, and this is one of my favorite parts of the entire series. She pulls up to a UNSC base, and she's just going around trying to figure out what these Marines know about the Spartan program, and she's dropping everyone afterwards. Apparently, she's got horror villain teleporting abilities.
Guys, we're being attacked. And I shoot. How? When? I'm very good at what I do.
Back at the Rebel base, the Rebel leader and his AI are interrogating a group of soldiers they captured for more information on the Red Team. This guy is the last person you want to be interrogated by. It's already been shown that he has no problem with killing somebody. Alex returns to the base and they have a problem. They still have that drive that they used at the Rebel base and they need to see what they got off of it, but they have no way to see what's on it. And Alex dropped everybody at the UNSC base, so that option's out. The only option they have is to go back to the Rebel base. It's risky to go back there again, but Rowley makes the point. They did fail the mission, and if the Rebels are planning something, they need to find out what it is. Also, he wants to go back to find his DVD player. I expected nothing less. The Red Team make their way back to the Rebel base and reach the computer, but this was a trap. The Rebels were waiting for them, but they did learn something about the Spartan 1s and what really happened to them from the Rebel AI. We'll have to wait to see how they get out of this situation. It ends with the Spartan commander telling the blue team to find the red team and bring them back, ending the season. Overall, this was great. I love how red team played off each other. The name Misfits really works for them. Marco is an asshole, but he gets the job done. And the rebel leader is as ruthless as they come. I can see some parallels between him and Marco. They both will kill an ally if they screw up bad enough. I felt bad for the colorblind dude. He didn't deserve any of that. This show will be coming back, but it will be rebooted in Halo Infinite. I can't wait for that. There's 12 episodes in the season, a series breakdown, and a PSA. I suggest checking it out. The Misfits is definitely worth your time.
Sir, I captured this item.
What item?
It rolled out of the building a few seconds ago.
Son, did you just pick up a flashbang and bring it to me?
Would that be bad, sir?
Yes. Yes, it would.
I'm blind! I'm blind!
My eyes! This is real life, like when I flash myself in Counter-Strike.
Well, that covers the series. Now, let's get into some shorts. Scope Glint was created by Late Night Gaming, and it centers around one of the more debated things in modern FPS right now, Scope Glint. From what I understand, Scope Glint is the glare that emits from a sniper when someone is zoomed in with it. It's supposed to make the sniper easier to notice when you're being targeted to make it easier to dodge sniper shots. Some people like it, some people hate it. It's not something I particularly paid attention to, but anyway, let's talk about the video. There is a Slayer match going on. A blue team member picks up a sniper, and as he's aiming it, it produces a glare that puts a brute flare to shame. Well, if everyone's not blind, they know where you are now. This was a nice little video. I like videos that make fun of things in gaming. I had to look up what Scope Glint was so I could explain it for this video. After I did, I understood it a lot better, so I hope my explanation helped, and I hope you get a laugh out of this video. Thanks for recommending this to me, man. I learned something from it. Man of the House was created by Nightmare Films, and it's about two brothers. Little bro wants Big Bro to help him kill something in his room. Big Bro doesn't want to be bothered with it, but Little Bro annoys him into doing it. From the way Little Bro is talking about it, you would think it's a big bug or something, and Big Bro thinks that's what it is, but Little Bro says that's a scorpion. And boom, there it is. This was funny. Little Bro was so annoying. And while you could see the twist coming, the payoff was worth it.
What? I told you it's a scorpion!
The De-Ranker was created by Ron Bad Productions, and it centers around these three gamers who have the misfortune of having a De-Ranker on their team. A De-Ranker is someone who loses games on purpose so they can play against lower level players and usually destroy them. These guys thought they were getting an ally, but nope. This guy's got team killing on his mind. He terrorizes the blue team from the jump. The guys were supposed to be playing Capture the Flag. They didn't even get a chance to go after the flag. It was just pain instantly. Red team was just chilling watching this ass whooping go down, and to make matters worse, they couldn't even boot the guy. He must have had hacks or something.
Fear my jeans. Wall.
Eventually they do kill him, and as they're about to teabag his corpse, the De-Ranker said nope and booted them instead. Okay, now that was just petty. After that, they just quit and they're probably gonna play some Spec Ops or something. I enjoyed this one. The De-Ranker was a total menace. He was tearing these guys a new one, and he robbed them of the chance to teabag him. Props to them for killing him though. This one's worth a look. Well, that ends this video, guys. I wanted to thank y'all for the recommendations, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. With everything going on in the community right now, I want to add some good into it, you know? And I hope this video helps with that. If you want to recommend some series to me, leave your recommendations in the comment section below and they may end up in a future video. You can click the card above if you want to check out previous episodes. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!
DJ Sonic 3.